Welcome to another episode of By the Numbers. I'm Pep Fernandez, and this is Eric Paul Johnson, EPJ, with all your stats. And Eric, we're leading off the show with softball. The great Rick Robinson at Norco has won the Michelle Crew Classic, which just completed this past weekend 3 times, but not the only coach to win this tournament.
No, and it's funny, Rick Robinson's been to the championship game 6 times in his career, and the only other area coach to win the Michelle Crew Classic, that would be Corona's Joanne Bird, who in 1997 beat Rick Robinson's Centennial team in the championship game. I actually got a text from Rick yesterday saying, I can answer your by the numbers question, by the way, and it's like, I bet you can. So, yes, Joanne Bird and Rick Robinson, the only coaches ever from the inland area to win the Michelle Crew Classic. Murrieta Valley, by the way, the only other team to make it to the finals besides Robinson's Centennial and Norco teams and Joanne Bird's Corona team.
Yeah, Coach Robinson probably remembers that very well, I guess. All right, sticking to all things Big VIII League softball, we're going on to King, where their ace in the circle is having a great season and racking up the strikeouts right now.
Yeah, you know, a couple of years ago when they moved the pitching distance back from 40 feet to 43 feet that we see in travel ball in college, everyone thought strikeouts just going to plummet across the board. And it's happened to a lot of pitchers, but Alexis Soro right now is putting up strikeout numbers that are defying a lot of expectations. Right now, in her career, 551 strikeouts in about 326 innings. That's 11.8 per 7 innings, which historically would rank second all-time in the inland area. Never expected to see those kind of numbers. The only person who has a better strikeout per 7 in career was Cajon's Lana Moran, who averaged about 13.4 strikeouts, a very dominating pitcher who ended up going to Oklahoma. And just recently, you know, Lindsey Sisk is the only other one I could find in the last maybe 5 years to even approach what Osorio is doing. So I've seen Osorio, when she's at her best, I've seen her strike out 18 in a game against Canyon last year, and she's routinely putting up double digits. And, you know, it's impressive what she's doing at 43 feet. Of the top 7 all time, she's the only one to do it at 43 feet.
And we'll see if she can keep that up as they open Big VIII League play today on Tuesday. All right, a good reason just to say Santiago as we're talking about the National Pro Fast Pitch League, right? They just had their draft, and we've got some locals connected with that.
Yeah, the National Pro Fast Pitch League, it's a professional league with only 4 teams out there. You know, it's kind of been an up and down softball league that's had up to as many as 8 teams, now down to 4. And they've been around since 2004 under that name. And every year since 2004, we've had at least one Inland Empire player drafted. And Santiago graduate Breanna Touring extended that streak this year by being the 9th overall pick. Breanna Touring right now a senior outfielder at Oklahoma, extremely speedy slap hitter out there. A couple interesting things here is, like I said, she's, I believe, the 13th player in the last 10 years from the inland area to be drafted. The first one was Kara Garrell in 2004, UCLA and Valley View grad. But Breanna's dad was also once drafted in the Major League Baseball draft. He was once selected by the Seattle Mariners, played locally with the San Bernardino Spirit when they were the Mariners organization, played a couple years with the organization. The one thing that father and daughter have was extremely fast speed. I mean, they were both known for their speed. Brian was a great base stealer in his day, and both of his daughters who play softball extremely good. And we know the last of the Touring sisters is a pretty good soccer player at Santiago this year. So Carissa Touring.
Having the wheels. All right, our question of the week, of course, Big VIII softball related. And I was actually in the office when we received this phone call about Roosevelt having a huge win against John Muir. 35-0 was the final score in that one.
Yeah, and I believe that was originally supposed to be a doubleheader when they were supposed to play, and I think they realized, you know, maybe one game is enough. You know, it's funny, and it looked like, I know Coach Ronnie Smith didn't kind of want to rub in the number, so, you know, just kind of said, could you put so-and-so defeated so-and-so? But on Max Preps, we saw the score, 35-0. But Kayla Sanchez, one of the outfielder utility players at Roosevelt, went 6 for 6 in that game. So she's one of about, I don't have the exact numbers, probably about a half a dozen to a dozen players with 6 hits in a softball game, but not the Inland Empire record. We do have one person in the history of inland area softball who once had 7 hits in the game. And the question is, can you name who that person was?
Is it a player from the Big VIII?
No.
No, it's not. Okay, well, there's your one and only hint for the question for next week.
And this player was playing probably before you were born.
Oh, so you have to go back and
But
look.
not me.
The way back
I was
machine.
alive. I was 2 years old when this record happened.
Turn back the clock a little bit. Do your homework and find out who the only player to collect 7 hits in a single game. For EPJ, I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on By the Numbers.